Good morning all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Wednesday morning, August 12th. We're looking at the last 4 days of the SPY ETF's market profile here on Window Trader. And just like Mother Earth knows how to cleanse itself with forest fires, hurricanes, disease, well, the market is pretty good at doing the same thing as it cleanses itself of weak buyers, weak sellers. We gapped open Monday on a weekly gap, filled. Gapped open on a daily gap yesterday, filled. Buyers trying to get to the all-time high in both SPY and ES. We thought yesterday maybe with that gap and staying up here, they get going. But the more the day went on, the less they got on the upside. What happened? The market cleansed itself. It took all these buyers from here, and even from here, and just flushed them out in L&M. And then to topping on the cake is once they get flushed out, what happens? All the short sellers come in, start piling on. We actually had an outside day down and a price probe, both pretty negative. Right now, with about an hour 10 to go, look where we're trading, right in the middle of the single prints. So they flushed out the weak longs, and as of right now, absolutely wiping out the shorts late in the day. Ever an ongoing process of taking out the weakest buyers and sellers and having only the strong and smartest survive. All right. So destinations right now, just quickly. So the upside, it was going to be L's low of 333.56. Now we still have an hour to go. If this thing sells off, that could be an upside destination. And we have our single prints. 334.83 get filled at 335.54. Then we have our pre-market high of 336.06, and then yesterday's high 337.54, and then that single print. For the downside, right now we had yesterday's low of 332. Well, actually our pre-market low is 332.19, then yesterday's low of 332.01, and then 331.13 daily low, filling the gap at 330.06. And again, I would have had no problem, and it still can happen, obviously, of filling this gap, holding around the 330 level, and then going for the all-time high. Game plan for this morning. Well, right now we're opening smack in the middle of value, smack in the middle of balance inside the singles. If the singles do not, now again, is it over an hour to go? If we open around this level and hold the singles, you could take a short play to see if we come back down to M's range. We know how important M's range is the next day or following days. If you get accepted back into M's range, the odds increase dramatically that you trade the range. So that's going to be very important for buyers in the next hour or once the day opens. So if you get an opening here, do not fill the singles. You can take a put play or a short play and see what happens back down at M's high. If it gets accepted, you could even add on and ride it down. If it gets rejected, I'm out of that put play. On the flip side, if you get a market that opens somewhere around M's high but does not get accepted, you can take a call play because your risk reward, well, that's twofold actually, because you can take a call play above here, but then you'd still have the single. So I would not take that call play just yet. Would not have one just yet at this level. Remember, as much as this market sold off yesterday in the last two frames, we know how irrational M is and how L has actually followed suit lately. But here's the important thing. Yes, value got changed to unchanged, where we were higher and overlapping to higher. But here's the important thing. Even though it's not 9 wide, and I kept saying this yesterday during this whole sell-off, buyers and sellers were happy to do business 8 times. Yeah, I like 9 or more, no doubt. But more importantly than the 8 or 9 wide is it could never get lowered. That's a little nuance, right? That's a little nuance. And right now it's proven to be kind of true. We're not back at it, but we certainly aren't below yesterday's low as of now. If you fill these single prints, well, your next destination will be that POC from yesterday. So, too early for me to take a call play at this level because of the singles, and if we get accepted into M, the only short play I would take right now is if the singles hold. Now, if we are to fill the singles and in B period we start one time framing up, then it's a nice long play to get back at least to POC. Remember, your risk reward inside of value is not the best. And then on the charts, we'll just show the weekly and daily. Weekly still very healthy. Yeah, you want to come above last week's high, right? We closed below it yesterday. Right now we're above it by a little bit. It's only Wednesday morning. All right, they did the heavy lifting. The bulls have done the heavy lifting, finally filling this gap. So they need now to get the all-time high. Little consolidation yesterday on the daily, very healthy. Did I want an outside day down? No, but again, that's emotional trading. Would happen in L&M. So maybe you flushed out the rest of the week longs. And now taking care of the shorts? Maybe not. Maybe we do still have another leg down to fill this gap. Either way, it doesn't matter. I'll trade what's in front of me. As long as we fill this gap, but don't start getting accepted back down in these levels, I still think the all-time high should be hit. Come check us out, camelbacktrading.org. Have a great day trading, and we'll recap at 4 p.m.